The Gardeners of Tucson is the oldest club in Tucson, established in 1959, which first started out as a men's-only club, but has grown to include women.
Lorraine Tiersey joins us now to tell us a little bit about the upcoming event that is free of cost and open to the public. Hi, thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So I just want to get started. Who exactly are the Gardeners of Tucson?
Well, as you mentioned, the Gardeners of Tucson are a nonprofit organization that was founded in 1959 as a garden club. They eventually started admitting women and changed their name from the Men's Garden Club of Tucson to the Gardeners of Tucson.
Why does everything start out as a men's club? Hey, seriously.
There used to be a women's club too. It's okay. It was a different age, a different era.
Are there more women than men in the club now?
Probably it's about 60-40% women to men.
All right.
But some of the early members who were there from the start are still involved with the club.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
And I always thought it was more of a woman's thing to be a gardener than a men's thing, but I guess it's both.
A lot of it, many of the men came from the university, and so that's why there were so many more men at first in this particular club.
So tell us about some of the meetings that you have.
So every month we have a meeting on the second Tuesday of the month. It's free and open to the public. We try to have different speakers every month talking about some aspect of gardening, whether it's how-tos or whether it's how plants grow or whatever. This month our speaker will be talking about the art of propagation.
Ooh. I don't know what propagation is.
So propagation is basically the production of new plants. Oh. And there are 4 different kinds of propagation. You can propagate from seed, which I'll talk about here. You can propagate from cuttings. You can divide your plants. And you can propagate by grafting one plant onto another. That's how we get a lot of our fruit trees.
Wow, that is awesome.
So the speaker tomorrow night we'll talk about all 4. I'm just going to talk about probably the easiest one, which is the seeds.
Okay.
And this is something that our club does to raise a little bit of money for our programs. We make up these little seed planting kits with, these are little peat pellets. This is the only thing that we buy other than the seeds. Okay. And so you can make this up at home. This is one of those salad boxes that your salad comes from. And so we line up the little pellets inside the box, and then we soak them with water, and they puff up, and they almost kind of look like a little brownie.
They do.
But they've got a little hole in the top, and I'll sometimes take a toothpick to make sure that the hole is open, and then I'll take seeds and just drop a seed into each little dimple on the top.
Okay.
What kind of seeds are those?
These are tomato seeds.
Oh, okay.
It's a little late to be planting tomato seeds now for this season, but Tucson has 2 tomato seasons. You can plant tomatoes early to get tomatoes that are ripening now, and you can plant tomatoes in July and August to get tomatoes that will produce in September and October, and sometimes even into November. Wow.
So I see that some of these are starting to grow already.
Yes.
How long can you keep them as is right now?
Pretty much I keep them in here until I start to see the little roots coming out of the bottom. You can just barely see it coming out.
Okay.
And when it starts to look a little bit bigger than this, then it can be planted into a pot like this or like this. And our members save these pots. You can find these all over the place from other plants that people have used. Or you can use a styrofoam cup or a yogurt container if you put holes in it. And you plant that in there, and in a few weeks' time, then it'll be big enough to go into the ground.
So how old is this plant here? Because this is really pretty.
Yeah, this is a tomato plant. Yeah. It was probably started in back in February.
Oh, wow.
We start most of our tomatoes starting in mid-January into February and March. This time of year, you'd want to be planting things like basil. You would want to plant okra, squash, a lot of the heat-loving kinds of things.
Yeah, heat-loving things. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it, Lorraine. Check out all of the Gardeners of Tucson's activities, monthly programs, recipes, and more by going online to gardenersoftucson.org or call 591-2432. Again, that's gardenersoftucson.org or 591-2432. And we